Jadi listrik itu pasti banyak mati itu.
Surau Taskira, Lubuk Bagalong, terendam.
Pak, mohon bantuannya RT 1 RW sampai ayo di bawah pulai bawah lah kadang Pak tinggi dan dewasa Pak, tolong bantuan secepatnya.
Mamut, ini aja jalur Iko dilekam nggak bisa dilalui dah.
Insyaallah ini terparah sepanjang masa guys, nggak pernah seperti ini.
Floods surround Padang City. Hundreds of houses submerge, residents flee. Floods hit a number of areas in Padang City, West Sumatra, due to heavy rainfall that fell since Thursday afternoon. Floods started inundating residents' houses last night. Some of the flood spots include the areas of Alai Parak Kopi, Rawang, Seberang Padang, Parak Gadang Timur, Dadok and Hitam, Mount Pangilun, and Kurao Pagang. Floods with water levels of more than 1 meter inundated residents' houses in the Parak Jambu area, Dadok and Hitam sub-district, Kota Padang. Inside the house, the water level is around 1.5 meters, while on the street is around 2 meters, said one student named Bayu area Friday, March 8, quoting from Antara. Bayu said that water started coming into his rented house at around 23 o'clock no UIB. 5 of his friends were still in their rented house because they were trapped in the flood, plus the water flow was quite strong. Seeing the puddle of water continuing to increase, I immediately evacuated myself to a safe place so as not to get trapped in the flood area, he said. Another resident, Nofriadi, said the standing water in his house reached a height of 1.5 meters. He, his wife, and 2 children were forced to flee. He admitted that he did not have time to save his belongings because the water entered the house quickly and immediately rose. As of Friday morning, Nafriadi and other residents were still seen staying in a temporary shelter while waiting for the water to recede. They took refuge on the terraces of the shops. Hundreds of residents' houses in Kurao Pagang, Nangalo, Padang were also flooded with a height of more than 1 meter since last night at around 20 o'clock WIB. The water rose so quickly and entered my house, the water level reached 1.5 meters, said one resident, Nerdamayanti. He said there were no items or electronic equipment that he could save from inside the house. According to him, until 4:29 UIB, the water had not receded. He and his family were forced to evacuate outside the house while waiting for the water to recede. Many residents were seen fleeing to safer places such as youth posts, mosques, and other residents' houses that were free from flooding. Meanwhile, hundreds of people in Durian Village, Parak Gadang Timur Subdistrict, Padang, West Sumatra were evacuated to the Al-Lisan Mosque due to flooding. Refugees at the mosque are dominated by children, women, and the elderly. There were around 100 people who took refuge in the Al-Lisan Mosque because their houses were flooded. Residents started to evacuate after Aisha, said head of RT-03 RBU-06 Parak Gadang Timur Subdistrict, Fawza Aulia Suri in Padang.
Yang paling terparah selama ini belum pernah terjadi banjir yang sebesar ini. Jadi kami mengimbau kepada masyarakat umumnya kita Kecamatan Laksa untuk berhati-hati menjaga anggota keluarga apakah itu
Zulnady, a local resident, along with his wife and children, were forced to flee because their house was flooded. The water suddenly flooded and went straight into the house. The height reached 2 meters. Finally, I immediately evacuated my children and wife, he said. Zulnady explained that the water that submerged residents' houses was due to the river overflowing and its height varied. There were even residents' houses that only saw the roof because part of the house was already submerged. At around 22:40 YAB, West Sumatra Governor Mayildi and his team came to the Al-Lisan Mosque to see residents at the refugee camp. Mayildi has contacted the provincial social service to immediately set up a public kitchen and provide assistance.